Hi guys, it's Mrs. Elstock. This video is going to review IXL Assignment Y2, finding the slope from 2 points. All right, let's go ahead and just get started. So for this problem, we want to find the slope of the line that passes through points 6, 8 and 2, 5. Now, if we had a graph, we could plot these 2 points and then calculate the slope by using rise, so our change in y, over run, our change in x. Since I don't have a graph, we need to find that rise over run. We need to find those changes by doing subtraction, okay? So if we think and we kind of relate this to a graph, remember when we're finding slope, that is equal to our rise, which is how much our y changes. So this triangle is the Greek symbol delta, which means change. So our change in y divided by our run. So our change in x. Since we don't have a graph, we're going to find these changes by subtracting. And we're going to subtract our y values and divide that by the difference, so the answer after we subtract our x values. All right, let's look at our 2 points. The first thing I recommend is labeling the points because we want to make sure that we don't mix up our x's and our y's. In ordered pairs, our x comes before our y. So our 6 is an x value and our 2 is an x value. Oops, I didn't make those in the right color. Let me fix that. Because we want to make sure our colors match, so it makes it a little bit easier. So our 6 and our 2 are both x values, and our 8 and our 5 are y values. Now let's set it up so we can do that subtraction. It does not matter whether we take the first point minus the second point or we do the opposite. But what does matter is whatever direction we go, we are consistent. I'm just going to go in order. So I'm going to do this first y, which is 8, and subtract it from my second y, which is 5. So 8 minus 5. What is 8 minus 5? 3. Now we need to find our change in x. We need to make sure we go in the same order. So if I did the first point minus the second point, I need to keep that up with the x's. So 6 minus 2. So we just took my 2x values and subtracted them. What is 6 minus 2? Well, that's 4. All right, here's where it may differ. Let's go back and read these directions. So the directions for how to put our answer is simplify your answer and write it either as a proper fraction, an improper fraction, or an integer. So basically, we either need to have our answer as a fraction or a whole number. No decimals. 3 divided by 4. Can I divide that and get a whole number? No. So now we need to see, can we simplify our fraction? Is there anything we can reduce it by? In this case, the least common multiple is 1. So this already is simplified, which means I can be done, and the slope between those 2 points is 3/4. All right, let's type that in. So you would do 3/4. And there we go, it's correct. All right, let's jump up a level and try another one. Ooh, that was a big jump, wasn't it? All right, let's go back and do one more before we hop up a level. All right, once again, we want to find the slope of the line that passes through these 2 points. I'm going to do it just like before, where I'm going to label my points, subtract, and then simplify. To find our slope, it is our change in y divided by our change in x. To find our change in y, we need to find the difference. We need to subtract our y values. 12 and 5 are y values, because remember, with an ordered pair, the first number is your x, and the second number is your y, which means 1 and 10 are y values. Oop, my bad. I'm messing up a lot on this video today, aren't I? Our x values. All right, let's find that change in y. Let's do that subtraction. So I just like to make it a habit of just taking the first one minus the second one. If I stay consistent, it'll help reduce mistakes. 12 minus 5. And 12 minus 5 is 7. All right, let's find our change in x. So we're going to go in the same order, and we're going to subtract our x values, which would be 1 minus 10. All right, let's watch that negative, because remember, it's 1 minus 10. When your numbers have opposite signs, we have a positive 1 and a minus, so a negative 10, you subtract them and take the sign of the larger number. So 10 minus 1 is 9. 10 was larger, and 10 is negative, which means 1 minus 10 is negative 9. All right, now we need to see if we can divide this slope, if we can divide this fraction. 7 divided by 9? Nope, that's not going to go evenly. Can I simplify it? Nope, there's nothing in common that I can reduce it by, which means that is our final answer. The only thing I'm going to recommend is that you put the negative first when you type this answer in. So negative 7 over 9. All right. Very good. All right, now let's jump up another level for our next example. As you keep working through this, guys, your numbers may get a little bit larger, but remember, you can either do the addition or subtraction off to the side, or you can double check in a calculator. All right, let's find the slope of the line that passes through points negative 38.72 and 22.27. I'm going to go ahead and just label my points because I'm starting to get a hang of this. I know that that's the first thing I should do. My x values are negative 38 and 22. My y values are 72 and 27. All right, let's find our change in y first. First one minus the second one, so 72 minus 27. And like I said, if you're struggling to do that in your head, on the piece of paper off to the side, you can just do the subtraction like you did in elementary school. So 72 minus 27, borrow, so that becomes a 6. 12 minus 7 is 5. 6 minus 2 is 4, so 45. All right, let's find our change in x. We must go in that same order, so if we took our first y minus our second y, we need to go in the same order. So our first x minus the second x. Negative 38 minus 22. That kind of looks like a Z. Let's fix that up. All right, now I'm just being OCD here. Sorry, guys. There we go. All right, here we got some negatives again, which could cause a little bit of issue. But remember, if you notice that your signs are the same, which in this case they are, we have a negative 38 and a minus, so a negative 22. If your signs are the same, you add them and keep the sign. Since they're both negative, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to add them and my answer stays negative. Once again, if this is a little tricky to do in your head, just do it off to the side. So 38 plus 22, 8 plus 2 is 10, 3 plus 1 plus 2 is 60. but I can't forget about that negative. It's really a negative 60. All right, here we have a much larger number. Once again, I can't divide it, but I can simplify. What can I simplify? What can I reduce this fraction by? Well, the first thing that stands out to me is I notice that my numbers end in a 5 and a 0. And I know that if it ends in a 5 and a 0, it's divisible by 5. So that's what I'm going to start off with reducing it by. So we're going to reduce and divide by 5. So let's see, 45 divided by 5 is 9. And then 60 divided by 5 is 12, so negative 12. All right, is that it, or can I simplify it some more? I can simplify it some more. I notice that 9 and 12 are both multiples of 3. So now I can go another step. I'm running out of room here and simplify by 3. 9 divided by 3 is 3. Negative 12 divided by 3 is negative 4. All right, can I simplify that anymore? Nope. So that is my slope. And once again, I'm going to put that negative first. Negative 3 over 4. And it's correct. All right. As you guys are working, if this is a trickier one for you, remember your goal is to get a minimum SMART score of a 60. Okay? Minimum of a 60, because that will equal a 75% C in the gradebook. All right, if you guys have any questions, as always, send me an email or come to my help session. I'll be happy to help. Good luck.